Good morning, everyone. Today's episode is about prioritizing, and since I have no idea about that, I roped in my colleague Rachel.
Hi everyone.
Who is going to tell us a bit about her method of how she's dealing with that.
Yeah, well, dealing is definitely the right way. I don't know whether I've succeeded, but yeah, it's definitely something I've found has been a challenge on the PhD. For sure, because there's so much stuff you have to do and it's kind of you that's in charge of doing it. So
yeah, exactly. And I always feel like everything is similarly important, so I start everything at the same time and then I get completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, I was a lot like that at first, especially in the first year. It was just like, what do I do? You know?
Yeah.
And I kind of like the important things to me were the important things to my supervisor, so all that got done, but like everything else got a bit neglected at first.
Yeah.
So it's all literature review because that makes supervisors happy. But yeah, maybe some of the other stuff like experimental planning went a bit out the window at first. So
yeah.
I definitely.
So when did you find out that you need to make your own plan?
Probably about after the first year.
Yeah.
When stuff started getting like, people like, oh, so have you got any actual data? So yeah, that's when I first started, and I kind of got a bit into the swing of it maybe second year. And then COVID happened and it all went. So I'm kind of trying to pick it up a bit now. So yeah, the biggest thing I found that really helped me was to like break everything up into little bits.
Mm-hmm.
So like they had us doing like Gantt charts and things at the first, so you planned out like what your whole year ahead was going to look like, which is great for your like your reviews that are like every 6 months or whatever they are. Mm. But actual day-to-day running I didn't find that helpful. Because they're kind of like big, vague goals like finish an experiment or finish a chapter, and that doesn't really help. So
yeah,
I dedicated a bit of time every Friday evening because I can't be bothered doing any actual work on a Friday evening. Like by then I'm like, oh. So I spend maybe an hour just planning my next week ahead and kind of break it up into like little tasks. So if I know I have to do an experiment, I'll be like, well, what do I have to do to actually get that done? Like, do I need to buy supplies? Do I need to write a plan? Do I need to read stuff? So then that would give me an idea of like what I needed to do for like the next week or 2 weeks. And then I just break everything up into these little tasks, and then I would do just like a to-do list. Mm-hmm. But that makes me feel really good because you can do these little things. You're like, ha, I did it.
Tick it off. Yeah, exactly.
I bought some seeds. You know what I mean? You know. So yeah, and I found that very motivating because if I have like a big, like say a fuzzy goal, I'm not very motivated. So yeah, I did these like little wins.
Yeah.
And then I would like bribe myself, you know, like, oh, you can go out on Saturday or you can buy yourself some biscuits if you do this. So yeah, I found self-bribery works really, really well.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about that in the Treat Yourself episode a bit.
Oh, nice.
So watch that one if you want. But yeah, exactly, treating yourself and I think the small tasks is really important. Something like tangible.
Yeah.
It's not this, I want to finish that. Yeah, but I still can't finish that in the last 3 hours of the month, you know? And then you keep pushing it further.
I find it works really well for writing as well, because like I'm not a natural writer. I hate doing it. So something as big and scary as you must finish a chapter is like, where do I even start? But if you just take a little bit of time and go, okay, so I need to do an intro. What do I need to put in that intro? And then how is that going to reflect what I'm going to do in my methods? So yeah, if you just do it in little chunks like that, it's so much easier.
Yeah, that's true. And that's maybe something that actually takes the whole first year, isn't it? Like figuring out what do I actually need to do to finish this task. Yeah. Because a lot of the things that you need to do are previously pre-planned for you. So like the course would tell you, okay, this is the recipe for the experiment, that's what you need to do.
Yeah, right.
And everything was there, everything was prepared. Great. And now you're sitting there, it's like, so what do I need to do? What do I need to buy? Right. Don't know. How long does it take until it arrives? All these things that you need to figure out, really.
Yeah, and always like I found putting like a bit of a buffer time in, especially with ordering things, as I found out recently. like nothing goes to plan. Like I'm waiting on something I ordered 2 months ago that should have arrived before Christmas.
Oh no.
And it's still not here now because of COVID. No. So yeah, another technique actually that I found really, really useful, because I have a really bad attention span as well. I'm like a goldfish. So I found this thing that's called the Pomodoro technique. And I can send you a link for they have like a little thing on the internet for it. And what you do is you set a timer, and I set it for 25 minutes, but you can do it for like an hour as well. And whilst that timer's on, you do nothing but the task you have in front of you, so say writing. And then you do it solidly for those 25 minutes. So you turn all your emails off, you turn your phone off and all that. And then when the alarm goes off, you get up and have a break for maybe 5-10 minutes, just to like refresh yourself, have a walk around, get a drink, and then again sit down and do it for another 25 minutes until then you're ready for a longer break, say for half an hour. And I found that keeps me going way better than just trying to sit down for 6 hours and write.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. 6 hours is so frightening. If you start, that's like you don't even want to like sit down, because it's like, oh, it's going to be 6 hours when I start sitting down there.
I get paralyzed like that. Yeah, it's like the procrastinator in me comes out, and it's like, oh no, you don't want to do that. You want to clean your bathroom or
exactly,
bake, random stuff like that. So I found it was a great way to break that, because even if, say, I did do the 25 minutes and then I got distracted on my break or whatever, at least I've done 25 minutes worth of work. So it was me sat down focusing, doing that work.
Yeah.
Rather than work, Facebook, TV or whatever else. So, yeah.
That's also a good way of looking at it, I think. Even if you plan to do like, say, 4 chunks of 25 minutes on the day, and then you get distracted in your lunch break and something else comes up. But to then think, not like, oh, I've missed 2 chunks, but to say, oh, but I'm good, I've done 2 chunks today.
Yeah.
To like keep it a bit positive.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised, because you give yourself that time limit, you get a lot done. Because you're like, oh shit, yeah, I've got to get it all done. Sorry, can I swear? I found as well building the bribes into that as well. So like if I get through 2 25 minutes blocks, it's a hot chocolate. And it really helps to motivate, because I think especially with the British education system, you're not really taught that, or at least I wasn't back in the 90s, like when the dinosaurs were on the earth. So yeah, like doing the PhD has been a challenge to self-regulate, because I never really learned those skills before.
Yeah. I feel I've learned that because I've worked between uni and the PhD, and then I somehow had to, and I've learned all that on the job, and now, well, all that's me saying, still not being able to prioritize my tasks.
I mean, I went straight from undergrad, so I went to undergrad when I was 26, so I'd worked like loads of dead-end jobs before then where you don't need to engage your brain at all. So then the undergrad wasn't too bad, but then the first year of the PhD, I was like, oh my god, what have I done? What have I set myself in for? But yeah, I think it's a good learning experience, because you have to do it.
Yeah.
There's nobody there to like G you along. And
no, exactly. It's a lot of finding out about yourself and training yourself or finding the right method for yourself as well.
Yeah. Well, everyone's different. I know loads of people who thrive on a super tight deadline, so they'll put off the work till the very last minute and then produce a really good piece of work, which I find very annoying. I wish I could do that. But yeah, and like if they had to do what I do, they'd struggle. So I think it's finding what's best for you. But
yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I always thought I'd be the person to like produce something good in the last couple of hours. But if I'm honest, it's not really the case. It's just the best thing I can produce in that amount of time, which is okay. But I'm relatively certain it could be better if I spend a bit more time on it.
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Like I hate to say this, but I get my best work done in the morning, and I hate mornings so bad. But I know if I get up and do my work, say before lunchtime, that it's going to be better quality than if I just faff about before lunch and then do it in the evening.
Yeah.
So as much as I hate to say it, I had to admit to myself that this is the best way you work. So
how do you make yourself get up and get to work? Is there anything, or is it willpower?
A really annoying alarm clock helps, actually, because I will stay in bed if you let me, till whatever time. So I hate my alarm clock, but it's across the room as well, so I have to get up to turn it off. Otherwise I'd be like, turn it on, snooze. And so that and lots of coffee in the morning.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. That was a lot of insight. Thank you very much.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Anything to help, it's not easy. And I think that's the best part of the group we've been in, because we're quite a small, tight group. You learn so much from each other, and it's nice knowing you have other people to rely on. So true. I'm happy to pay it forward. I certainly needed it first year, so
yeah, that's true. So, well, let's try and sum up what we had. So there is the Pomodoro tactic that can help you. Generally, trying to plan your work ahead, like for about a week, maybe, or 2 weeks. Break it up in smaller chunks, so you make it achievable. Reward yourself.
Definitely.
Important.
Know yourself as well, I think, too.
Yeah.
Or get to know yourself.
Get to know yourself, exactly. And there are a couple of episodes where things like that pop up as well. So like, as already mentioned, like treat yourself or get confidence in your method. That means you need to know what you actually need to do. Go back to those if you need some advice on the specifics there.
Yeah, cool.
Other than that, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
And I'll see you again tomorrow. And until then, keep smiling.